That's it, we're rolling. Hi guys, thank you for tuning into my latest video. I don't need to introduce this man, but I will anyway. Of course, it's Matt the Tissier, and we're just going to have a general chat about things. So yeah.
How did Bilbao go, mate?
It went very well. Thank you for setting that up.
That's quite alright. Good club, isn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, amazing. It was so unique and what they do. But what was good for me is the way, well, first and foremost, I got treated like a king because of you. So that was decent. I got access all areas. But the reason why, you know, for the viewers that are watching this, the reason why we went is the loyalty award, isn't it? So you got that.
I got that 4 years ago now, I think it was.
Yeah.
So yeah, the One Club Man Award. They decided to introduce it, and I was the first recipient of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
decent. Some decent players after that as well.
Exactly. Yeah. They was Maldini.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were first.
I was the first one. Yeah. Maldini joined my club.
They said to me it was because the red and white stripes, and one of the presidents liked watching your goals when he was younger. So that's what they told me. So, but no, it was amazing, and they looked after me brilliantly. But it was funny because I actually texted you when I was away and said, I think you'll probably worship more over there than at Southampton, which is hard to imagine, but it was.
No, it was lovely. When they gave me the award, they had presented it to me at half time in one of the games.
Yeah.
I went over and watched one of the games, and the reception at half time for the fans was just lovely. They showed a few of my goals on the screen and everything, and it just gave me the loveliest reception out on the pitch. It was great.
It was good for me. They treated me, but they actually said to me, "You are Matt Le Tissier." So it was great. So, you know, without showing off, I was President's Suite for the game, which I've never been to in any, you know.
Comfy seats there, and the little tellies you can watch
and
the
tapas, and you know, Ignicio, and they were just introducing me to everyone. I went down to the changing rooms to see the changing rooms before the game.
It's a great stadium, isn't it?
It is, and it's so cheap as well for what people pay. It's like 150 million euros when you consider what Tottenham's going to cost and Wembley's cost. Some real, but no, they looked after me amazingly. But the thing that got me was the way they genuinely want to show people around their club, look after them.
So proud of their club, and rightly so. It's been amazing. There's only 3 clubs that have never been relegated from La Liga. Yeah, and they're one of them.
Do you? So when I was there, it was great because one of the highlights now of my career, and even though I didn't actively coach, was on the last day they had Barcelona on a Saturday, so I was flying back on the Friday evening. So the Friday afternoon, I watched the first team train in the morning, which I'd done through the week in the academy. Anyway, so Friday afternoon they were doing like a shape work for the game against Barcelona, and first 15 minutes all the press were there. Couple of coaches that had come over, a couple had come from Japan, one from Ireland, and they were all watching, but then they were shipped out, so I sort of followed them as well. But then the security guard said, I couldn't speak the Spanish, and he was like, no, not you, and I was like, okay, and I thought, where are we going here? So then he took me in, everyone's gone out, and they're preparing their shape work to play Barcelona on the Saturday, and I'm the only coach that's allowed left in the place. Obviously I wasn't allowed my phone or anything like that, but they let me literally just watch the session, and I could pick little pieces up what he was saying, but he's talking about Messi and Busquets and all that and the other. But it was quite ironic because Messi and Busquets didn't play, so he left them out. So no, it was great. But
and they got a result.
They got a result, which was good. So Ignicio, our friend, I texted him, and he was very, very happy. He said they should have won though. So
yeah, it was probably the end, the equaliser, wasn't it?
Yeah, so, exactly. So but no, it was amazing. I want to go back and try and build that. But you know how much coaching means to me.
I was going to ask you about that actually, because I don't think I've ever met anyone in all the years that I've been in football who is so obsessed with coaching. Where did that come from?
When I grew up, I think I've told you this before, my first words were a ball. So they weren't mum or dad, and that's a fact. That's not something to try and impress people on here or whatever. It was a ball. So I've naturally always loved football, but as much as I thought I was okay playing, especially as a boy, I was very good as a boy, scored lots of goals and things like that. But as I got older, I don't think anyone really coached me, and physically I struggled for the first few years and had to play catch up in men's football.
Yeah.
So it's just a love of football, and I think that when I look back now, I grew up on the biggest council estate in Salisbury. Readily, when I was younger, the opportunity to take drugs was there, drink, things like that. So it was all good, playing football all the time. But coaching, I think, I don't know, I've always had that natural thing of thinking about the game in different ways and watching it in styles. And then obviously the opportunity come to get into coaching and then with yourself. But I think you're right, I'm obsessed with it because I sit with Lisa sometimes and we're watching a box set.
You don't drive her mad.
Yeah, she goes. Yeah, it does her. It does her head in. But she basically understands now that I think the ambitions I've got, where I've been, I always step out my comfort zone, as you know, going to Barcelona on my own, going to Lisbon on my own, went to Bilbao on my own, been to America on my own, to Liverpool International Academy, and I like challenging myself. I like. We've had discussions obviously off camera about my ambitions and stuff like that, but I'm sat with Lisa watching a film or a box set, and within 10-15 minutes my mind's gone. I'm asking who's killed him, who's going out with her or whatever,
because you're thinking about
just
your
comes back
coaching session.
Exactly. And I know that some people laugh at it. I've got friends that laugh at it, but I can't help it. It's
that's your passion, mate.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Yeah,
You
but I
know,
want to do.
I was the same, but thinking about the games that I was playing in.
Yeah.
So I mean, mine never went to the coaching side of things, but growing up and through my career, I'd go to bed and when I'm trying to get to sleep, things are going through my mind about scenarios that could happen in football matches and what I would do to get out of certain situations.
Did you ever do it to music? Did you ever have those thoughts to music?
No.
Because I let you into a little secret now. I do exactly what you're doing. So I picture. So you're picturing the game for the next day, and almost picturing the crowd and stuff like that, and celebrate. Is that what you're saying? That sort of thing?
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I did it to music. So my passion is music as well as football. Everyone assumes that my passion is just football.
Yeah.
But I love music. Anyone that knows me, like Lisa, I cannot get up in the morning, go in the car without listening to music.
What music? You've got an eclectic mix, or
Michael
is it just
Bolton.
one genre?
Michael Bolton.
Right, we can cut that bit.
I like. To be fair, I've got a big.
I'm going to watch Shania Twain tomorrow night.
Yeah. No, I like Shania Twain. Did you listen to that album I sent you through, Bruce Hornsby and the Range in the end? That's a no. No.
No, a couple of the songs I did. Yeah, a couple of them I did. I didn't get to listen to it all, but
all right.
Yeah.
No.
It's not my cup of tea. That's why I only listened to a couple and went, nah, it's not for me, that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But no, Michael Bolton's my favourite singer. I like the script. I'm inspired by the script.
Okay, what is it that inspires you? The lyrics?
Yeah, the lyrics. It's just about, like, their lyrics are all about, for me, proving people wrong, because, without going on a soapbox, I was told, I've always been enthusiastic with coaching, as we've touched on here.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that inspires me more than anything, everyone wants to do it for their family, everyone wants to do it to make people feel proud of them, but people used to laugh at my enthusiasm because I'm sometimes over enthusiastic, where I'm mega organised, or I'm coaching, and rather than letting, like when I was younger and the adults that we were having, I was coaching, it was almost like other people didn't know what to do, whereas I was trying things and getting things wrong and people would laugh. And I was told 2005, 2006 when I started, I actually overheard people in the changing room laughing at me. And so I went in and confronted them, and they said, well, you've never played the game at a high level, which is one of my gripes with coaching.
It's a completely different skill.
Exactly.
Completely different skill.
Yeah.
Some of the best players in the world have been rubbish coaches.
Yeah. But no, so it's almost for me to go, right, I'll show to you. And that's been the one thing that's kept me going all the time, something new. It's like the YouTube channel. People out there are probably looking at it going, who's he think he is or whatever. But those people are probably the same ones that didn't think I would make anything in coaching. And that's gone okay. I've got loads of more things to do. But I think that, that's one of the things that inspires me with my coaching. But I think going back to music, when I drive to sessions now, I picture a U4. Is that still running? Let's make sure it is, yeah.
I'm fascinated how you put your thoughts to music when you're thinking about coaching.
So basically, what I do is that say I'm driving to our academy, I'll drive down and I'll put uplifting music on. I like music with good melodies as well, and I like the lyrics, like the script. So the script's lyrics are very much about proving people wrong, and like this, superhero song is about, the beast in the belly that's so hard to control, and the lyrics are across my chest are, all his life he's been told he'll be nothing when he's old. So it's little things like that that try and motivate me. But when I'm going to coaching sessions, what I do is that I picture the euphoria of being with the kids, seeing them do something good, and when it hits a high chorus.
Okay.
So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It lifts me up. So, when I've turned up before, Steve has said to me, "Get out the van. We need to set up," because my music's blaring. But what he doesn't realise is I'm actually preparing for the session
yourself.
like that. So it is a huge passion of mine and what have you. So
yeah, I must admit, actually, I used to when I would drive to games on a match day, I would do the same thing with uplifted music to get my mood up before the game. Definitely use that. Yeah, thinking about it now.
Yeah, that's good. So and then obviously with this, the YouTube channel, that came from. Again, that's something that was quite interesting to me, is that this probably came from an inspiration from Guillem Balague. So when I spoke to Guillem Balague, I've been doing the written blogs, and the Pochettino one was my first one. And I did it because Lisa was watching Summit on telly, and I didn't want to watch it, so I went upstairs, watched Spurs, and I just wrote some coaching notes. And before I knew it, it started turning into a bit of a journal. So I just thought, right, okay, just write. And I just went with it, and I sent it to Guillem about 5-6 times. No response, didn't expect a response. And then one day, lo and behold, through Twitter, he came back to me, showed it to Mauricio. Mauricio liked it, and it's quoted in Brave New World. So I'm really proud of that. So every, it's just a different string to the bow, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? To go into the media and stuff like that. Obviously, you've done it and stuff, and I don't expect one day to be sat next to you on Sky Sports. But I do it because I enjoy it, and that's why I wanted to speak to you today, because obviously to give the viewers a little insight into me. So without probing you too much, and obviously speak honestly, what have you seen in my coaching that is different or unique to other coaches that you've even worked with when you played?
Yeah, well, like I said before, the first thing that struck me is that I never seen someone with such a passion and enthusiasm for coaching. A lot of people go into it because ex-footballers go into it because they don't really know anything else.
Yeah.
And they'll go into it, and their name will get them jobs. And they're not really, not really that passionate about it. So what I saw in you was kind of the same passion that I had in me for playing football. Yeah. So the same kind of stuff, and obviously that when you're doing that rubs off on people. So one of the best managers that I played under was Alan Ball.
Yeah.
And Bally inspired me because of the way that he was. Yeah. Not just because he won the World Cup, but because of the way he was in the training ground and the passion that he had for life and the enthusiasm that he had for life. And he got the best out of me because of his attitude.
I think as well.
Life. If you've got that towards your players that you're coaching, then those players are going to be inspired. I
think that story as well. I never met Alan Ball. Unfortunately, I met you after he had passed away, which is a big regret. I've told Keely, his daughter, many a times that. And the biggest compliment she gave me is that she said Jody either loved you because of his passion for football and stuff like that. But I still get inspiration when you talk about him like that. That photo that I've put on my Twitter many a time, on our Facebook page, when he's got his arm round you.
Yeah, I remember the picture. Yeah.
And I think that's what I try and do as well. As much as I go into attention to detail and I try and coach the players, I think. I see many coaches that are good coaches, but they can't communicate, or they're only there from there till there, and they don't. It's afterwards. There is that genuine passion and stuff like that. But obviously, I'm a big fan of Pochettino, but I think we need to at some point discuss the time that you helped me meet another hero of mine.
I know that Pep has been a huge inspiration to you.
Yeah.
It was just a brilliant coincidence.
He hasn't got a tattoo of him on me, has he?
Not yet, no, not yet. I'm sure it will come.
I
no,
remember,
that was lovely. I couldn't believe my luck when I got the phone call from the.
I thought you were going to say you couldn't believe you. That was lovely that I got you tattooed on my chest. Those that don't know, I do have this tattooed here. When I sent you that was quite funny. I got it done. It was on a whim because I had the lyrics. All his life he's been told he'll be nothing when he's old. And as he was doing it, this tattooist said to me, "Why are you getting this done?" And I said about working with you, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden I said, "Do you know what? Just pull it on. Just pull it there. No one is, even if it's crap, no one will see it. But it's not. It's good." But then I sent it to you, and you just put a thumbs. I don't know what you.
The reason is that I couldn't work out whether it was real or not.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought
no.
it was a wind-up.
Oh no.
I thought he just just.
No, my mates have said that. My mates have said that, so that's brilliant. They're going to get.
So that's why the response was a bit. And I was waiting for something to come back.
No, it's real. It's real. Still there. Look, there it is. There you go. Anyway, on the Pep. So.
Yes, I had a phone call from the European Tour asking me to play in the BMW Pro-Am at Wentworth, which I've done a few years, and normally play with some good players. Normally put you with other football people, so I had like Teddy Sheringham and people like that I've played with, and he rang me up and he went, "Yeah, you got quite a nice team this year." He said, "You're in with Peter Schmeichel and Pep Guardiola." And I was like, "Wow, Pep!" Well, first of all, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm like so chuffed to be playing with him. It's going to be lovely to just have a few hours, have a chat with him about football and all that." And then after I got over my excitement of playing with him, I was like, I think I know somebody who might want to come up and watch this.
Yeah, that was yeah.
So I give you a ring.
But it was funny because the first thing when you said to me, "You'll never guess who I'm a celebrity or I'm with," hand on heart, I swear, I thought you were going to say Michael Bolton. I thought
that would have been fun. Does he play golf?
I don't know. But if he wants to play with you, I could, let's get it sorted because I'm going to see him at the end of the month.
I was going to say, he must be in concert somewhere soon.
Yeah, end of the month, Bournemouth, down the Beck. Be the third time I've seen him. Man's a legend. But anyway, so it wasn't just me, though, that was a little bit in awe. He said some words to you, didn't he? I remember. Is that right, when he first strolled over to you?
I was on the putting green at Wentworth. And it was like, we were teeing off like 8 in the morning or something, so it was like 20 to 8.
Yeah. And
we were teeing off the first tee, so we didn't have to walk. So I was having a little putt, and he hadn't been seen, but we'd had a bit of breakfast, gone and warm up on the range, and there'd been no sign of him. So I was like, excuse me while I ignore my brother. So I was like, oh, maybe he's not turning up. And at 20 to 8, I was on the putting green, and he was just caught a glimpse of him on the far side of the putting green, so I thought I'll go and say hello, introduce myself, and just say, I'm playing with you today and all that stuff. So I'm walking over there, and I was just about to go, "Hi Pep, I'm Matt Tissier, I'm playing with you today." Yeah. And before I had a chance to say anything, he went, "Oh, Matt," he said, "you're one of my favourite players." He said, "I used to love watching you score those goals from 40 metres." And I was like, "Oh my God, Pep Guardiola knows who I am." And I was looking around just to make sure somebody had seen it.
It was quite funny because that's when I first saw that moment. Obviously, I didn't hear him because I was stood back, so I got there early to come and meet you. But it was quite funny because the first thing I noticed about him, and you'll laugh at this, immaculate.
Oh yeah,
the way he dresses, even his beard is trimmed.
A whisker out of place.
Yeah, exactly. But he smelt nice.
He's a proper perfectionist.
Yeah, you can tell. And what I loved about it was every time you took a shot, and every time the others were taking shots, he was looking. You could see he was just looking. What's he thinking? You know what I mean? Even that time there, you could see that he was working. He was enjoying himself. He was working. It was quite funny for me. Because there you are, I when I sort of told people about it and put it on my social media, it was like, this is what happens when your hero introduces to your hero. So the two of you together. But it was one of the funniest things that I tell, and as and when I meet him again and what have you, I hope that he sees the funny side of this. Is as much as we admire him, he shanked a couple, didn't he?
Oh, he had some shockers. Yeah, he did have some shockers. But he don't play very often. Obviously he's a busy man.
Yeah,
so
but
he
it was
get to play
funny
golf as often as me.
Because no one sort of said anything. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh right, yeah. But no, but what I noticed about him is his manners. Like when he first spoke to me, he took his, I noticed that he took his hat off. So when you called me over and I could go under the rope to speak to him, I remember thinking to myself, right, people had said to me, you've got to try and make an impression with him, but it wasn't the time, it wasn't the place, it was just trying to be natural with him. But I always remember the first thing I did was take my hat off, and I made sure that I kept it on right to the last second when he knew he was shaking my hand, to try and just show that I'd noticed what he's done, because his manners and the way he speaks to people is unbelievable.
He's brilliant with people, and he's so respectful of everybody.
Yeah.
And it was lovely, and he was asking questions about, to me about my golf and all that stuff, and I was I'm like, shut up, Pep, I want to ask you some questions.
Do you remember what he said to me first?
No, go on, remind me.
He said, Jody, Matt tells me you're a wonderful, lovely coach. Maybe one day I can learn from you.
And
I was
right,
like, wow. And it was brilliant because Flash, which is Gordon Watson's, the Saints fans watching this will remember Flash, Gordon Watson. He was teasing me because as we were walking together, he was going, Jody, Pep wants a photo with you, mate. He's been waiting for you, mate. Do you know what I mean? So, but that's Flash to a T, isn't it?
It was a lovely day, though, mate.
It was. So, one last thing. So we've talked about obviously my coaching and things like that. Obviously, we've touched on music and things as well. But obviously, when you were younger, Glenn Hoddle was your idol. Pep Guardiola, you admire it. Is there anyone now that you haven't met? This is one thing I wanted to ask you a while back, that you would like to meet. Other than Shania Twain, am I?
Well, Shania Twain would be nice. Yeah. That'd be on probably near the top of the list. I'd love to meet Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not met Tiger, so
I've
watched him. I've kind of been within a few yards of him, watching him at the golf course. But I'd love to say hello to him, and because he's just a living legend in the game of golf, which is obviously turned into my passion after I couldn't kick a ball around anymore. Yeah,
and then one last thing from me, if you could. So you've obviously said some kind words about me and my coaching and things like that, and my passion and enthusiasm. Where, without sort of, talking about, you can't predict the future and the fact that where I'll coach and stuff like that. My ambitions, where I want to go. But
yeah, of course.
What do you, for people that are watching this and wondering why they should keep watching videos and things like that, what would you say to them about where you see me, without predicting too much, going in the future with my coaching?
Well, as I've said to you, if you believe in yourself and you've got that in you, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. There's no ceilings in life. If you believe passionately in what you do and you work hard enough at it, and that sounds a bit rich coming from me because people didn't think I was the hardest worker, but little do they know, to get where I got to, it was a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But if you're prepared to do that, and I know that you're prepared to do that, I know what ambitions you've got, I know the belief that you've got in yourself, there's no limits to where you can go.
We've had discussions before where I've openly admitted to you, and I'm going to openly admit it on camera now, that I'm confident in what I do.
Yeah,
very confident in what I do.
You should be. You're a good coach. I've watched you coach. You engage with the players. The players look inspired when they're being coached, and that's all you can ask of a coach. You do your homework like you wouldn't believe. As I said before, you told me you've been watching programs, and all of a sudden an idea comes in your head, and you're just off, and that's it. And
I've got a notepad. I've got a notepad in the toilet.
Well, that just says it all, really.
I've got a notepad in the toilet, and people laugh at that, but I do, because you get some inspirational moments there, don't you?
To be honest, yeah, I normally take my iPad in and play a bit of Scrabble on there, but,
No, that's good. But no, thank you for that, and I just want to say, thank you for Athletic Bilbao, obviously sorting that for me.
No problem.
But even though we've had this conversation many a time, there are times when over the last 8 years of me knowing you, obviously we business partners, but I like to think now we've turned into friends.
Absolutely.
But there's been times when I've called on you for favours, whether they're personal ones or work ones and stuff like that. So I just want to say thanks for your support, mate, and obviously
You're welcome,
thank you
mate.
for this as well.
Pleasure.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
No problem at all.
Cheers.